Jess Richards. I've tried to identify myself as the ReFi Queen, mostly because of my experience in real estate. I would say mostly from the things that went wrong. I've never really been able, and I don't know too many people who are successful that just had all success. It's the lows and the highs. There's a lot of peaks, and there's a lot of valleys. So some of the things that went wrong that are major events changed my outlook. And they also pivoted me on the road of what I wanted to do. So I've been, in banking, I've been the banker. I've been the lender with my personal funds. I've been the property manager with the calls all the time, nonstop. And what can go wrong when somebody's in a property. I've been the so property manager, landlord, um, you know, the it's the it's the late night calls when without a support network when you're first starting out. And so what I've learned is sometimes even with knowledge, if you don't have the right support pieces in place, and those support pieces can be, hey, can we go do this together? Like it's not always the it's not always knowing what to do, it's how do I execute. And so I would say the reason that I call myself the ReFi Queen is my execution. It's I had a conversation just yesterday. It was a Teams or Zoom call, and we have the place I'm at right now. We have every construction renovation product you could think of. So we have the VA, no money down. I used to even think this loan was a myth. So because VA, you don't have to have any money out of pocket. I mean, there's USDA renovation loans as well with construction, but I have always done VA loans. My first loan personally was a VA loan. And when I moved over to Union Home Mortgage, the first closed loan I did was a VA loan. Looking at their, products, this is going to open up so much in the area for veterans. For the 203K, the FHA renovation loans, things that aren't always common in our area. What I see a lot on the market is, there's homes, but they all have issues. I'm not in an area where everything is just built brand new and we have all these new homes. I'm in an area that it's I don't know, how would you say, well lived in, but it's an area where when you move into the home, you have the opportunity of not paying these top dollar, and you can make it yours. And so where I come in is I help make it yours without all of this down payment, without all of this. I mean, you're going to put in a lot of sweat equity, but there are so many options that we have here and now. But that's why I kind of wanted to have this podcast, because I enjoy hearing, what people are doing and how they're making it theirs. I got into mortgages it's that feeling of when they have a home of their own. And then everybody has all these different personalities and their thoughts. Like, I love walking into somebody's home and to see like their thoughts on a color scheme and their thoughts with furniture and how they decorate, and like it's just uniquely yours. And it's, not having a landlord tell you you can't do this, you can't paint, and then they're just so happy they want a garden or they want pets or and so I get pictures now, and I was like, it is so cool. It is so cool what some people can do with their homes and design it. And that's what I want to be there for, to help you fund, to help you get there, and then to stay with you on your journey. But I also want to take my knowledge from the rental and the creative side, and how with trying to get out of situations when money is due, and to know the urgency. So I would say, the I don't know, in our area, and when I say our area, I'm Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania primarily. in and someone called it the Rust Belt. So it's where there's a lot of minerals, and I've just heard this the other day on that our area, the Ohio Valley, is well known for like the rust is the plants, and it's the we have all these natural resources in the ground, but we're not the. Ooh, we should probably not go there with rust. Let me start over. Um, what I don't remember why else they would be a rust belt.
I always learned it as these factories and plants come in, we strip the minerals, and then we just leave it sit there, and then they become rust. Because like you look down the river, just all steel mills
Is
that
that
used
why?
that's yeah, because all these steel mills, everything used to produce, they extracted everything from the area
Mm-hmm.
around it, and then you know they would leave the jobs, leave the plants, and now that's why you just see it. And then it's just like seeing the literal rust all the way down because especially when you get like to weird like that,
Yeah,
like half that town is just that whole rust infrastructure that they don't use anymore.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because so on this, where I was listening, they were calling it the Sun Belt, which is the Florida,
Yep.
Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and how there's market compression right now there. But then here, the Rust Belt, which is like Pittsburgh in our area, it's we're not feeling that as much, and it's still a very good market. And we don't have as much of the days on market, the absorbing some of these fees. The buyers aren't pushing back as much, and it's really just in our area. Ohio is one of the most, and I know there was, where did I see it? Ohio is one of the most affordable states for investors because you can purchase at a lower dollar amount, and the rent roll for like the DSCR loans, it is a very sought after area, especially like the Cleveland, Cincinnati, just because of the purchase price. And so on my journey, learning like the TC work, the transaction coordination for some of these creative deals, how people are able to get into it. I'm also I not only learned the lending side, I learned the side where what are the protections. Even if it's not my own experience, what went wrong. Why didn't someone look to see if it was in a flood zone? Why didn't we see if there was the prepayment penalty? I know with lending, there's certain things that I have to look for and have to do with, high cost mortgages, or does it pass certain test or ability to repay? You don't always have that in the private money space. And so a lot of what I find fascinating is, people used to say commercial loans are the wild, wild west. Well, the creative side and the private money side can be the wild, wild west if you don't know what you're looking for. And so I'm not saying that I'm your girl to know what to look for. You need to do your own due diligence, and you need to hire, a TC, or see what's your um like what is your buy box. But I thrive in the after your purchase, after you've done your renovation, now you're trying, this is your long-term rental. I'm here to get you into a place where you give me this is what I have to do. I go and I can help you get those payoffs. I can go and say, hey, yeah, we can do this DSCR loan, and let's close by this date. And it's not the grit, it's the knowing how time sensitive something is, to get it done and get it done for you so that you thrive. Um, Circling back to the conversation that I had yesterday on construction loans, sometimes there's not a difference. Products are, the products that you have can be the same products that somebody else has. The difference is the person who is putting in the time. And that's why you work with someone you like, and you trust. But you're not going to trust somebody who doesn't stay on top of things, and they don't follow back up with you. And, you know, you want to be informed. You want to, like, this is your business, or this is your home. This is going to be the roof over your head. Like, it involves you. It's not just take it and just let me know about it later. No, this is my livelihood. I need this done, and you need to work with someone with urgency. And you need to work with someone with knowledge. It can't just be, we have these products and I'm just going to check boxes and fill this out for you. There's a difference with having all the opportunity in the world and not knowing what to look at to streamline it or make it where you're not doing work repetitively over or giving documents over and over. Um, the worst thing, when I was on the other side of, like, when I was doing the purchasing, or before I could do DSCR loans myself, when I was doing them with other lenders, is they would ask me for something and I would think that I'm giving them exactly what they want. No, there are certain requirements. Oh, this has to be on letterhead. This, you can't have bank statements if you don't have all of the pages. I know that now, but before I got into lending, before I, went down the different journeys, you can't just ask something without taking the time to explain. And I think that's huge, and I think that is where a lot of people miss the mark. And also, just as an investor or as the person purchasing, ask the questions. Like, no question is a bad question. I have people nervous all the time. This is my first home and I don't understand. Well, I wouldn't be a very good lender if I don't take the time to make sure that you understand. And if you don't understand it one way, let's sit and let's look at it and let's talk about it till you do, because this is a major purchase in your life. And I think having the knowledge so that you feel comfortable helps you on that home journey. And you can read documents and there's just so much jargon when it comes with mortgages. And then you have the the Fed, or the government comes in and puts their guidelines, and sometimes it's just, hey, I want to know the why behind it, and let's not make it super complicated. Don't throw big words at me so I feel stupid. Don't just tell me, why you need this. Why are you pulling all of my affirm counts? Or, I have the right to have payment plans. Why am I having to give you a letter of explanation for absolutely everything? And it's just sitting and going through it, item by item. And I think the journey is, like, when you get into a home, you're going to remember that you had an awful experience and you're going to be like, oh, I got to refinance again, or the market changes and you're going to be like, okay, I'm prepared because I know what I want. I know what I need, and we're going to do this from the very beginning, and I'm going to have a better rate now. I know I'm going to hit my break even point. Um, and that's my goal. My goal is to help tell you exactly what you need, the why behind it, and have a mortgage plan for you. So if your credit is not there yet, let me help you work on your credit and put you on I am not a credit expert, but I have access to software. I personally use Credit Expert, and we pay $28, or you pay $28, and then you have options on how to get, and the likelihood to get you to the rate that you need for the mortgage product you want. So there's so many things out there right now, um, so many different options, that it's overwhelming. Um, I would say, with me focusing on refinancing for people, the green flags to know when to refinance is, what is your break even point? You know, take your closing cost and divide it by 24 months. See how long it's going to take you to recoup those funds. Or, ask me, say, hey, like, is it worth it to refinance? So if your break even point of how long, um, and it can vary based on, different people, how long are you going to hold the property? There's not always one right answer because everyone's situation's different. I typically say, if like, do you want a lower interest rate, or is it about the amount of cash you can pull out? So that helps with the refinance too. I like to look at 50, like half a point to a full point before you refinance. But maybe you have all this equity in the home and maybe you want to use that for a vacation, something fun, or maybe you want to purchase another property or education. It doesn't matter. You can pull money out for whatever you want, but maybe pulling that cash out is what's important. So I feel like every single person that I speak to, it's always a different answer. And but I will give you the why behind those answers. But those are the big ones for me. When you're refinancing, how long does it take to recoup the funds? Your break even point. What's my purchase, or what's my purpose? Do I want to have more money out, or do I want a lower payment? And those are the three major things that I look at. And then once we know that and your goal, then we can work on what program to put you in, because there are so many different refinance options. And even let's look at, do you have a repayment penalty? Do you have, like, there are so many things when it comes to mortgages to look at. Just hitting those bullet points of what to look at first, coming up with a plan, because everyone's path is different, and then giving you peace of mind so you can start going and you have confidence in that direction. So um, I don't know what else to talk about.
I was going to say, you hit like 17 minutes. I could make this into like a
Perfect.
whole episode. Yeah.
So we're good.
I would end it with something like this is just like the ReFi Queen. If you want to hear more, learn about more about refinancing, follow along or something like that. Just
Okay.
yeah.
So this is Jess Richards, the ReFi Queen. If you want to know more about, or have me do a mortgage plan for you, a refinance plan, give me a call at 910-580-0612. You can follow me on Instagram, Jess Richards 304, or look me up on Facebook. I'm happy to help.